Hi, this is Lisa Corbin, Technician with ESL Dual Language. Today we're going to talk about some of the procedures you will need to know when enrolling your PHLOTE students. After administering and scoring the W-APT, you will log into campus, go to Student Information, click further down on ESL Enrollment Form, and this is the screen that you'll see. You will enter the student number here and click Find. This is the screen that pops up. This screen has demographic data for your student, and here you'll enter the W-APT scores for speaking, listening, reading, and writing. When you're finished entering the scores, you'll click on Save and Update Scores. You're inputting the raw scores for speaking, listening, reading, and writing. The system will then calculate those scores, calculate proficiency levels, calculate adjusted proficiency levels, and assign a language designation. And we are going to talk about each of these items as we move through this PowerPoint. So essentially, all you have to do is enter scores, click Save and Update. You'll have immediate results to use, and the data is populated directly into Campus. Once your data is populated, it looks like this screen. You'll see a numerical value in each of these areas here. And you'll also see a language designation for your student. Students who score a 5 in all domains may be considered proficient if the body of evidence supports their grade level academic performance. So if you have a student who scored at least a 5 in all domains, you would collect a body of evidence and send it to Lisa Conway for next steps. Students who score less than a 5 in any domain probably will benefit from placement in an ESL or dual language program. The W-APT results should be used to help determine that program placement. So now let's talk about the results of the W-APT test that have been calculated for you. So first, let's understand proficiency levels. There are scores for 6 different proficiency levels plus scores for an overall proficiency level. The 4 basic levels are speaking, listening, reading, and writing. There are 2 composite proficiency levels, literacy and oral. Literacy is the combination of reading and writing. Oral is the combination of speaking and listening. And finally, there's an overall composite score that is the combination of literacy and oral. And you will notice that the literacy is weighted heavier than the oral in the W-APT assessment. So think about this as you plan your instruction. So let's look at the proficiency levels again. You have the composite, the literacy composite score. In this composite, reading is weighted at 50% and writing is weighted at 50%. You also have the oral composite right here. Speaking is weighted at 50% and listening is weighted at 50%. Then you have the overall composite, where literacy again is weighted at 70% and oral is weighted at 30%. Because the W-APT is an adaptive test, some of your students will have an adjusted composite proficiency score, or CPL. Scores are adjusted based on the student's grade level. So you will not see adjusted scores for a student at the top level of a grade level band, but you will see it for lower grade levels. So if you look at these grade level bands, you'll notice that the first, second grade level band, in this one, first grade results are adjusted, but second grades are not, because second grade is at the top of the band. The same thing again for the 3-5 level band. Third and fourth grade results are adjusted. Fifth grade is not, because it's at the top of the band. And the same thing goes as you go through the grade level bands. So you will see adjusted proficiency scores based on the student's grade level for oral proficiency, which is speaking and listening, a literacy proficiency, which is reading and writing, and the overall proficiency. So let's take a look at an example of a student. Here we have a 7th grade student that takes the 6-8 grade level band W-APT. He is not at the top of this grade level band, therefore you see that he has adjusted proficiency scores. Okay, so let's take a look. He has an adjusted oral proficiency score here. He has an adjusted literacy score, which is right there's your adjusted literacy. And he also has an adjusted composite score here. And this student is considered NEP. So when you're looking at the WIDA performance definitions, you can gauge about where your student falls and what his or her capabilities currently are. It gives you and the classroom teacher a place to start when creating differentiated instruction for this student. Thanks so much for your time. If you have any questions, please contact your resource teacher for more assistance.